Okay. Alrighty. So we're gonna go over our reading vocabulary words first. I know some of you may have already taken your quiz for this week, and that's okay. But we're gonna go over the words and definitions, and then I'm gonna read a story from my teacher edition. All right. So our
Yes, ma'am.
first word that we're gonna go over, let me zoom this in a little bit, is bakery. Say the word bakery.
Bakery.
Bakery. A bakery, if you don't remember, is a place where bread and other baked goods are made and sold, okay? Our next word is culture. Can you say that? Culture. Good. A culture is traditions and customs shared by a group of people. Our next word we have here is customer. Can you say that?
Customer.
Customer. Good. A customer is a person who buys things at a store. Our next word is dough. Can you say that for me?
Dough.
Dough. You too, Bailey. Brooklyn. Can you say dough?
Dough.
Dough. Thank you. Dough is a soft, thick mixture that is shaped and baked. Our next word is ingredients. Can I hear you say it?
Ingredients.
Ingredients. And ingredients are parts of a mixture. And then our final word we have here is recipe. Can you say that?
Recipe.
Recipe. And a recipe is a set of directions for cooking. All right, let me zoom this back out a little. All right, so I'm going to read. And as we read, I'm going to stop and ask questions, all right? Now, I know this story is going to sound really familiar to both of you because it is a story we've read in the classroom before. However, all my other teacher edition books are currently locked in the school, so I have no way of getting them. But we did not take a test on these words. We've read the story with these words, but we've never taken the test on them. So I figured now would be a good time for us to do that. And I don't know about y'all, but I enjoyed the story Jalapeno Bagels very much. Did y'all enjoy that story when we first read it? Yeah? Good. All right. So we're going to read Jalapeno Bagels by Natasha Wing. So that means y'all should be really good at answering these questions because y'all heard it before, right? All right. So let's begin. What should I bring to school on Monday for International Day? I asked my mother. My teacher told us to bring something from our culture. You can bring a treat from the panderia, she suggests. Panderia is what Mama calls our bakery. Help us bake on Sunday. Then you can pick out whatever you want. It's a deal, I tell her. I like helping at the bakery. It's warm there and everything smells so good. So let's stop real quick. What do you think that International Day is? Raise your hand. What do you think International Day is? Zevin?
When you bring something to school,
Well, yes, the children are bringing things to school, but why would they call it International Day? Let's go back a little bit. What should I bring to school on Monday for International Day? I asked my mother. My teacher told us to bring something from our culture. What do you think International Day is at this boys' school? Brooklyn?
celebrate what your culture is.
To celebrate the different cultures. Good. Okay, and what kind of business does his family own? Brooklyn?
A bakery shop.
A bakery, yes. All right, let's keep reading. Early Sunday morning, when it is still dark, my mother wakes me up. Pablo, it's time to go to work, she says. We will walk down the street to the bakery. My father turns on the light. Ooh, let me reread that. We walk down the street to the bakery. My father turns on the lights. My mother turns on the ovens. She gets out the pans and ingredients for pan dulce, which is a dessert. Pan dulce is Mexican sweet bread. I help my mother mix and knead the dough. She shapes rolls and loaves of bread and slides them into the oven. People tell her she makes the best pan dulce in town. Maybe I'll bring pan dulce to school, I tell her. Next we make empanadas I can't read from here, de calabaza, which are pumpkin turnovers. I'm in charge of spooning the pumpkin filling. Mama folds the dough in half and presses the edges with the fork. She bakes them until they are flaky and golden brown. Some customers come to our bakery just for her turnovers. So let me read that one paragraph again. And I hope you're listening carefully. Next, we make empanadas de calabaza, which are pumpkin turnovers. I'm in charge of spooning the pumpkin filling. Mama folds the dough in half and presses the edges with a fork. She bakes them until they are flaky and golden brown. Some customers come to our bakery just for her turnovers. So, what are the 4 steps that are being mentioned to make the empanadas de calabaza? Brooklyn, what's the first step?
To stick the pumpkin into the dough.
To spoon the pumpkin filling into the dough. Zevin, what was the next step?
I know the last 2.
Okay, well, does anybody know the second step? Because you put the filling inside and then are you just going to leave that bread open or is it going to have to be folded over and closed?
It's over and closed.
You're going to have to fold it over and close and press those edges with what utensil did Mama use?
A fork.
A fork. Good. So Zevin, can you tell me what was the third step?
She scraped it off with a fork. She scraped the dough off with a fork.
Can you say that one more time? I couldn't hear you.
She scraped the dough off with a fork.
No, we're not scraping anything. We already said that she pressed the edges together to make it close with a fork. And then what happened, Brooklyn?
You put them in the oven.
And then you put them in the oven until they are flaky and golden brown. All right, let's keep reading. Maybe I'll bring empanadas de calabaza instead. You'll figure it out, she says. Ready to make chango bars? Mama lets me pour in the chocolate chips and nuts. When she's not looking, I pour in more chocolate chips. I could bring chango bars. They're my favorite dessert. Mine too, says Mama. This batch should be especially good. I put in extra chips. So there are 3 different treats that Pablo has already thought of bringing to school for International Day. What are those 3 treats?
Empanadas.
Okay, there's empanadas de calabazas. That's one. What else? Brooklyn?
After turnovers.
Yeah, that's the empanadas that Zevin mentioned. That's its name in Spanish.
The chocolate bar.
The chocolate bars, the chongo bars with the chocolate chips in it. So we have two. One more. One more. Starts with a P. Pan. I'll help you out on this one. Pan de dulce, the Mexican sweet bread. So we have so far pan de dulce, pan dulce, empanadas de calabaza, and chongo bars. So far, he's already thought of 3 different treats that he's want to take to school. Let's keep reading, all right? My father comes. Let me start over. My father calls from the back room. Pablo, come help me with the bagels. Papa speaks English and Yiddish. He learned Yiddish from his family in New York City. I know some words too. Bubby means grandmother. He uses my Bubby's recipe to make the bagels. First, he makes the dough in a big metal bowl. Then he rolls it out into a long rope shape. He cuts off pieces and shows me how to connect the ends in a circle. We put I can't talk today. We put the circles on trays where they sit and rise. While we are waiting, my father makes challah, which is Jewish braided bread. He lets me practice braiding challah dough at my own counter. It's a lot like braiding hair. The customers say it's almost too beautiful to eat. Maybe I'll bring a loaf of challah to school, I tell Papa. He smiles. When the bagel dough has risen, he boils the bagels in a huge pot of water and fishes them out with a long, slotted spoon. I sprinkle on poppy seeds and sesame seeds, and then they go in the oven. Maybe I could bring sesame seed bagels with cream cheese. No lox? Lox is a smoked salmon. My father's favorite bagel is pumpernickel with a smear of cream cheese and lox. I crinkle my nose. Lox taste like fish. Jam is better. Okay, so let me read one of those paragraphs one more time. So I hope you're listening carefully. When the bagel dough has risen, he boils the bagels in a huge pot of water and fishes them out with a long slotted spoon. I sprinkle on poppy seeds and sesame seeds, and then they go in the oven. So, what are the 4 things that happen after the bagel dough has risen? Because the bagel dough has risen, and now what? I'll help you out with the first step, so I hope you're listening. After it has risen, he boils the bagels in a huge pot of water and fishes them out with a long slotted spoon. Brooklyn?
He boils the bagels in some hot water and he fishes them out with a spoon.
Okay, and then what happens? Zevin, do you know?
Um,
Because now they're out of the pot. Does the boy sprinkle anything on the bagels? Brooklyn?
It was some kind of pepper or something.
Poppy seeds. It's poppy is a type of flour. Poppy seeds and sesame seeds. And then what's the last step, Zevin? Do you know?
I'm doing something.
What was that?
I'm doing something.
Okay. Brooklyn, where do those bagels go after they have the seeds on them?
Into the oven.
Into the oven. Good. Let's keep reading. My mother joins us and helps my father make another batch of bagels. Jalapeno bagels. My parents use their own special recipe. While Papa kneads the dough, Mama chops the jalapeno chiles. She tosses them into the dough and adds dried red peppers. We roll, cut, make circles, and let them rise. I can't wait until they are done because I am getting hungry. Have you decided what you're going to bring to school? Asked Mama. It's hard to choose. Everything is so good, I tell her. I look at Papa, except for lox. You should decide before we open, warns Mama, or else our customers will buy everything up. I walk past all the sweet breads, chongo bars, and bagels. I think about my mother and my father and all the different things they make in the bakery. So tell me, why does Pablo need to decide what to take to school before the bakery opens? Brooklyn?
Because
Oh, Zevin, you
Because
go ahead. Sorry.
get it all.
if it open, all the
You,
customers will eat all the stuff.
Okay. Brooklyn, is that what you're going to say too?
ma'am,
Were you also going to say because all the customers will buy everything before he has a chance?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Yep, so he has to choose before the store, before the bakery opens, or else the customers are going to buy everything up and then he'll have nothing to take. All right, let's keep reading. And suddenly I know exactly what I'm going to bring. Jalapeno bagels, I tell my parents, and I'll spread them with cream cheese and jam. Why jalapeno bagels? Asked Papa. Because they are a mixture of both of you, just like me. All right, so our last question here. Why did Pablo decide to bring jalapeno bagels to school? Brooklyn?
Because it was the mixture of his mother and his father, just like him.
It was a mixture of both his mother and his father, just like him. Does that mean it's representing both of their cultures or just one?
One.
It only represents one parent's culture, not both?
Uh, one, two, both parents.
It represents both parents' cultures. It's a mixture. Do we have mixture on here? No, we don't. But a mixture is when you combine two or more things together, okay? All right. Well, that is all for today. Thank you both for joining me today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Do we have any
Do we?
questions before we go? Zevin, what's your question?
Sorry I was late to
Oh, don't worry about that. It's okay. As long as you get your work done, that's what matters, okay?
doing it.
All right, Brooklyn, what's your question?
Do we need to bring anything with us tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes, you'll need social studies. What's it called again?
Goods and source
Goods
and
and
services.
goods and services, that's the name. So you'll need your
Okay.
social studies, newspaper, and maybe even your worksheet tomorrow, okay?
I'm doing the